Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
Thursday night, and you want that?
Hey, you got it.
Hi, everybody.
Are you excited?
We've missed you.
I think everyone missed us because I didn't do a show last week because what was it? My brother watches my videos and he was asking what we're going. We were at a funeral last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't bother with tomorrow. Let's not advertise we're not doing it. No. And no one seemed to miss it, so it was alright. I don't know if that's good or bad thing.
Aww.
But we're going to talk about Scarefest today. But first, I've got something before we guess some that's new and I know you're going to love.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to tell me you've already seen it now. I thought you'd want to try. There's a new Lindor flavour.
Oh, what flavour?
It is. You don't know. She doesn't know about this.
No, I don't. This is completely. Oh my word!
It's tiramisu. It's her favourite.
Oh my gosh, it is. Yes, mate. Can I eat
Yes,
one now?
mate. Yeah.
Sorry, that was just.
I don't know if you want to give a little review, but yeah, I'll let you open those. But
go on then. Yeah, I'll let you carry on talking
Yeah.
while I'm unwrapping this.
I guess for today, our favourite YouTube channel in the whole wide world is Coasting with the Joneses. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Hello.
I've got a story about Andy because I know you were a bit ill on Saturday when we
No,
went.
I'm fine now. I just still my food's taking the brunt of it. So, but I'll feel better if I had some tiramisu, Linda.
I'll get some next time we see you. I'll bring some. But I don't know where we want to start with Scarefest really. I've got a lot to talk about. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Some of it involves Bianca.
I'm in heaven.
That's the hook. But I don't know where you want to start.
That's a lot of coffee.
Where do you want to start?
Where do we start? Shall we
The
start
Scarefest.
with, obviously, the first thing you're going to take a photo of is the entrance bit, isn't it? And then, of course, the hearse. So, come on, let's talk about the hearse, shall we?
Yeah, okay. I'll get the photos up. But
Let's start from that beginning.
I'll ask Laura first. What did you think about the new hearse?
I thought it was absolutely epic. I love it.
Mm.
I love the smoke effect ruining my photos. It looks stunning.
So that's not actually. I don't know if the first one was, to be fair. That's not actually a hearse, is it? That's just the family car they've converted to look like a hearse.
I think it was like a trailer, wasn't it? It looked like.
Yeah, I don't think it actually looks like a car as such, like a brand.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe just.
Oh, Sibby's in the Hyperion queue line. He's going to be waiting there a while.
Hi, Sibby.
Hopefully it doesn't stall for you, Sibby. So you get a night ride.
Yeah.
Is it worth going on, Sibby? Tell us, because everyone tells. I get mixed reactions now. When it first opened, everyone was like, "You got to go on it, Mike. You got to go down there." I'm like, "All right." And now people are going, "Oh, it's rough. Oh, it's." I feel like every ride gets rough
Hey,
after
Trey.
like 2 days. Oh, he's back in Cincinnati. I talked to Trey about the baseball thing, yeah, but I hope you're all right, Trey. But back to the hearse. Andy was saying it was like a trailer because it had you can't see in that photo very well, but it had a tow bar on the front. So I don't think they're driving it anywhere.
Do you think I thought it looked like one of those 6-seater cars?
Yeah, I thought it
you
looked a
convert
bit
to like
like
a 7 or something. Or...
It looked a bit like I don't know what model it is. The car your dad's got, it's massive.
Yeah, I know which one you're on about though. Yeah, I don't know that.
I thought Vampire looks like a giant compared to all the other ones.
I think Vampire.
I agree on that one.
Vampire looks like it's not the same art style as the other 6.
Yeah.
It looks like a fan has seen the other 6 and gone, I'm going to make up a character for Alton Towers.
I think Vampire's meant to be Gretel's like cat, so I don't think he's meant to look like the others because he's a cat, not like a crazy creature.
As a cat owner, do you approve or are you a big fan of Vampire?
Do we approve of cats? Absolutely not.
Did he move?
Sorry.
So I'm just going to ask while we're here, Darcy, who's your favourite character of the? I suppose is it Freaky? It was Freaky 5 at one point.
The Freaky 5, yeah. It's Freaky
So is it going to be
Friends
Scary
now.
7? No, it's Freaky Friends.
Freaky
is it?
Friends. That's
Be
what
Scary
they've got
7
on
next year.
everything. That's Skelvin.
Skelvin.
I got Skelvin too. He's so cute.
My favourite is
I like the arms on Patch.
Oh, Patch, yeah. You like Patches. I keep calling him Patches, but it's just Patch, isn't it?
Has Andy got a favourite before we move on?
Probably the pumpkin one. Patch. Yeah, Patch.
Yeah.
I like sleeves on Patch, but I have to say I probably like Skelvin.
What's this one called again? Frank.
Franklin, isn't it?
Frank.
But
Some-
yeah, they're calling him Franklin now, and it's really winding me up.
Wasn't it always Franklin?
It was Franklin, wasn't it?
No, he was Frank. But now he's
Well,
Frank.
Frank's short for Franklin, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, they don't need to say the full name.
All right, calm down.
Maybe they probably a lot of people mistake it for like Frankie, and I know Frankie can be like either or, like gender, can't it, Frankie?
So before we move on from this hearse,
I don't know.
I've talked about Vampire. What does everyone think about Zombob? I kind of already made a story in my head that he's the son of Franklin.
Well, some people online are saying he looks like Craig Tully. He's got the same accent as well.
Do you know what I think he looks like?
Who does he look like?
He looks like John Burton. The
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he does a bit.
is that just me?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if they've done it to pay like homage
You know
a little bit.
You know what
to-
would have been cooler, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, but
Hmm.
if they hadn't made Vampire and they made like a woman like I can't remember her name, the one from Adam's Family. Like they could have made
What,
like a vampire woman.
Morticia,
Yeah, but they could have like
the
made
mom.
that look a bit like Bianca. They need Bianca and John in the crew, and that would be
I
cool.
mean, maybe Vampire is representing Bianca, maybe. In a
But
way.
we're going to mention Bianca later on because she did something on the day. But
Setting off some things here,
um,
some ideas.
because I got a load of photos to kind of carry us along, but I thought we'd talk mainly about the family attractions because the Joneses didn't do the mazes because they can't do the mazes basically. But
Yeah.
oh, Hex, yeah, I forgot. That's how great Hex was. That blindsided me. I forgot all these things I want to talk about. It's like, I'm going to Hex open, didn't it? And then it didn't. It's open again now.
You sure it didn't actually blind you with the technical things?
So, because I know Andy was excited. Oh, I don't know if Andy wants to talk. Do you want to talk, Andy? Because I know you know well.
Yeah. Until my voice runs out.
I know you're excited about you're excited about Hex opening again, like a lot of people were. But do you want to describe what that was like that morning, like when you first approached?
Well, I'd avoided social media on the Thursday and the Friday to try not to get any spoilers. But yeah, Hex is one of my favourite it's one of my favourite rides of Towers next to Nemesis. The Curse became my default favourite dark ride for a period of time. But yeah, the reviews coming in from people are a bit mixed about Hex. But personally, I think some of the lighting was a little bit overdone. But other than that, I think it's still the same ride. It's one of my favourite rides of Towers.
And the TVs didn't turn off in the dark.
Yeah,
room.
that was my least favourite bit about the new Hex, so we call it, was when you went into the hexagon, whatever it's called, the octagon, whatever it's called. And normally it went completely dark before you hear like the witch doing a chant. But you can see everybody quite clearly because the glow of the TVs is still there. I don't know whether or not they've done that for like health and safety reasons, but it took away from it a little bit. That I thought,
but they do have glow in the dark steps and stuff, so you can find your way out easy, you know.
But I also think some of it might be to do with being it like more family friendly.
yeah,
Because I remember that used to scare Darcy when she was little when it went dark.
yeah.
Whereas I think with all the new lighting effects and the fact that that doesn't go dark, it does make it a bit more family friendly.
That's what I was going to say. Because on the day, Darcy was scared that I was going to move around in the pitch black, which is something I do on that ride to scare people. And now she's saying she wants it to be pitch black.
Oops, cat. Thank you.
That's like
Yeah, you're not that scared of it anymore, are you, Hex?
Because remember,
I don't know if I'm more scared about getting stuck on it now because after what happened on Saturday.
It was obviously just a bit of cosmetic kind of covering, wasn't it? But those that got ripped off, but still not great that happened, considering they've had 2 years to test it.
Yeah, but I think these things happen. It's the first day of it fully cycling, and
Yeah, I know, but imagine if that was spinning full whack and fell off and hit somebody. It wouldn't be great publicity, would it?
Imagine if that had happened the day before at the press event.
I would have been sad if it wasn't open on Saturday. But yeah, it was open.
I don't know if I'm going to have time to upload it to put it on the studio, but Sibby, I'll show it again later. Sibby's in the queue line for Hyperia.
Proof there, proof there.
Then in the comments, it's third in his rankings out of 20 at the moment.
Yeah, but that's technically fourth because Nemesis is his 0, isn't it? He goes on about that's his 0. But
I fear is my number 1 in the UK.
Hi everyone.
Travel with the Jones. But so has this gone back to being Curse for you, Andy? Because you mentioned Curse.
Really? If Curse was running as it was on day 1 with everything working, then the Curse would beat it. But it isn't. The Curse has been broken in various bits of it have been broken for the last couple of months. And for me, that shouldn't happen. The ride's only like 2 years old. For the trauma not to be working for like the last month or however long, it's just kind of a bit rubbish. From that point of view, because Hex was, well, at that moment in time when we went on it, Hex was working. But yeah, for me, it's my favourite Dark Ride at Towers by far. I just remember the first time I went on it, and I had no idea what it was because I hadn't seen anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I first went on it, I was just blown away. It was like, what is actually going on? It's like the best feeling in the world. And I actually love going on it now when you're with somebody or you're following somebody in the queue that obviously hasn't been on it before.
Yeah.
I love sitting opposite people and watching the reactions the first time they go on it. Just awesome.
Awesome.
What do you think about it?
What with Hex?
Yeah.
I agree with Laura on this one, saying that they're trying to make it family friendly. So obviously, so all ages can go in. There's been numerous times where people have like dropped something and they can't find it whilst the videos have been going off. But also, I do agree with the televisions being quite bright as well. At certain parts when you go through, I call it the chamber, the hexagonal.
I like the octagon. It sounds like there's going to be a fight in there.
Then, yeah, the octagon. Yeah, it sounds a bit more like the octagon. But yeah, and I think for me that I'm really happy of that I really picked up on straight away when they started doing the projection, and I noticed it kind of reminds me of those LED TVs that you get with the light that goes off in the background. So whenever there was like flames or something, they made sure that they changed the colour of the lighting, and I thought that was really good. And that was a good way to like keep people's attention, those that have got a small attention span. Also, for me, it was the sound. You blooming did it, Alton Towers. You actually changed the speakers. So it just did not hurt my ears at all. And it didn't sound like that the speakers were struggling either when it came to the bass as well. So I'm very happy. But can we do it with X Sector, please? That's all I ask if you're watching this. But that's the only thing. I'm quite happy the fact that they've kept it running. And I'm happy that they've adapted it to more of a more modern, I won't say modern audience, but more of a wider range of audience and age ranges now. So I quite like that. At the same time, I did like it dark and spooky. It did give me that tension of, oh yeah, it's going to scare the
still
pants
spooky.
off me, you know. But it's more, like I said, family friendly.
It's more cartoony now, if that's the right word, isn't it?
It does seem a bit cartoony, but at the same time, I think they've done the right thing for keeping it going.
I thought it was quite legitimate.
But the only thing I'm going to say is it going to stay maintained?
Well, they answered that question on Saturday night.
So we'll go from there. Because if you've got something that needs repairing,
I think
they've had enough time now to sort it out now that they've done all the other things that they need to do.
19 months, yeah.
But
I think...
Did you see...
Karen, Andy.
Did you see what they've done to replace the bit of metal that got pulled off?
No, I've not seen it.
What did they do?
Put a big strip of wood like you get from B&Q across the top of the door. Not
until that gets ripped off.
Yeah.
Well, that won't stop the ride, will it? It'll just get ripped. Wood.
Maybe they've done it to like test it to make sure that the ride does go around it depending on the thickness. Because I reckon they've either not put it on properly with like adhesion or whatever, or screwed it on properly, or they've either not done the right thickness of the metal that was across there for it to go around and then do that. But it would have done it in the first kind of round of it if it was the case. So I wonder if it's the way it's been stuck on or screwed in or something.
Could it be the case that someone did it? Someone's kicked it off ride and then it's gone round and got caught. Like this is an outside influence, not the ride's done it, because it's been tested like
the chairs have been
300 hours or something.
But the chairs have got like a good.
No, but when you're going through that doorway, you might kick it.
Inches.
There's a gap between the two doors. What I was going to say
It
is,
might be.
I don't think
Maybe.
nothing stood out to me that this is any more family friendly than it was before. Like,
Making me think now.
Like people have mentioned family friendly, and that's fine. Nothing at that ride to me stands as being more family friendly than the other one. Not the other one wasn't family friendly, but what I thought was the lighting was good, like you said, because there were and we're going to ruin it for everyone now. There were thunder effects in the first show when thunder was on the TV, and there were fire effects like behind it to the sides when the tree branch got knocked down. That tree, I don't know which one it is now. I know that tree in the video is one of the trees in the car park, but now I don't know if it's the one in the car park behind the hotel car park.
Yeah,
it's one of the trees in the car park was used for that video.
It looks like the one that's kind of behind the monorail station on the opposite side to where the golf is. We walked past it the other day, didn't we? I said it looks like the old oak tree.
The full angle, you can see the full angle of the seats in a way because you pointed out to me. If you sit near the drum, which is on the wall opposite where you enter the ride, there's something hanging down, and so you can see which way's down for the whole ride.
Yeah, in the drum at the top, you kind of see like the cables for the LED lights all put together, and you can see them like swaying as you go around. So that's good.
If anyone wants,
hi Sherry.
If anyone wants to know, Sibby's sent me his top 21. I'm going to count Nemesis as one. Send me his top 21. There is a French coaster on there. That's funny.
I'm going to say, why don't we have Sibby on next time?
Well, we might be seeing him tomorrow if we do Ilkeston.
Oh my gosh, yes. Sorry. I've heard a lot about it already, so it sounds exciting.
Hello, Cherie. I saw a lot of Stitch stuff today. But anyway, I was gonna say, it feels like you're underwater there because I only put one photo from the vlog in, but it's got a lot of that lighting in that photo. Like, it just felt a lot like we were underwater in a cave.
Yeah, I think it's like stained glass window light, wasn't it?
Yeah. And there was a fake wall, for anyone who's not seen the vlogs yet, or anyone, there's a fake wall at the end of the queue line where the turnstiles used to be. And so the actual first bit isn't in the queue line where you can hear all the noise from the queue line, where you get told about the painting. That's actually in an actual separate room, which is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
What I would say about that, I was expecting something more because they'd done that.
Oh, yeah.
It was just the talking on the picture like it normally is. But it
made it better.
It made it better because it was enclosed and it drew your attention to it.
I must admit, it gave more mystery to those that seem like, I don't know if we were put like with a group of people, some of them that didn't know it before, or like they just brought their kids that have never been up before. And even the kids were a bit like, ooh, and they still were a little bit spooked. I mean, they're quite a young age, children, but...
And they had a TV at the disabled's not an offensive term, is it?
Access.
Okay.
Disabled access.
For RAP people, I don't want to be... That's not an offensive word, is it now? Disabled? Well, the RAP entrance, anyway, I'm trying to be politically correct, has a TV now. But I'm sure the TV's inside in the queue line. We're showing a different video to the original. But the original one's outside, but there's no sound on it.
But the only criticism I got on that one was maybe they should do subtitles for like the hearing impaired. Because they do the subtitles on the video inside when you go inside and they say the story, yeah. So they do the lines of what they say in the story in the legend, sorry. But in terms of like what the builders do, they don't put subtitles there. Like
I think the screens are too small.
The bit when you walk in at the beginning, I can't make any sense. Sorry.
She means on the videos playing in the queue line. Apparently they have. I didn't notice. Apparently they've got subtitles on.
But they don't. They actually don't. So if you've got someone that's hearing impaired, they might need that just to get a bit more of a concept.
But what I thought was a bit weird is where that disabled entrance was. Didn't the rack queue used to wait inside by there? Whereas it looks like
you used to have a little bit of queue, but now they've blocked off the main queue line. They probably thought to block off that as well. I don't.
But it seemed a bit weird if they wait.
No one will know they're outside.
It's bad.
My one major criticism, and this is funny about the whole ride and the whole experience, right? Because it was good. I'm not saying it's not good. The one thing that stuck out to me, and maybe because we were stood near it, the generator was too loud.
The generator didn't have the same sparking effect, which really disappointed me.
Did it have a spark effect before?
It sparked when it went off. But on the old lights, it used to go dark, and as it was coming back to life, it used to spark as it was coming back to life, and it didn't do that.
But the sound from the generator, which I'm guessing is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Artificial. It just seemed very loud.
It's just a washing machine drum. That's literally what it is. It looks
No,
like a
but
washing machine.
yeah, but the sound from it sounds like it's coming from a speaker and not the drum. And the sound of the was there something else going on? Because I specifically remember thinking that's too loud.
Have fun, Sibby.
Oh, he's going to go on Hyperia. I can't remember where it was on his list.
I'm sure we'll see him on the news getting evac in a bit.
Can you imagine getting an evac in the dark? Wow.
I think that might be his first ride because it's not in his top 20. I'm looking at his top 20 right here and it's not in there. But yeah, Hex was good. Yeah, I mean, it had a big queue, but I don't think a lot of those people were going to queue for it. Well, a bit like Curse, really. Like when that was new, people queued for it, but I can't see the problem.
I think this weekend there'll be 20 minutes max queue.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it this week, but I imagine it's been about that all week.
Do you want to talk about the entertainment?
I'll let you talk about it.
I'll
let you guys talk about the entertainment. So go for it, Joneses.
Well, we missed the ancestors down.
Yeah, we saw them on stage at the end of the day. Every time we were by Tower Street, we saw a few of them walk around, but we didn't actually see them doing the dancing thing.
Do they have set times for Tower Street, or are they just whenever they feel like it?
I presume. I think it's supposed to be every half an hour, isn't it? But
because I caught this show by mistake because I was going to search for something else, some information about the maze tickets, and then it happened. There was surprisingly not a lot of people there. You don't see it on my footage, but there's not a lot of people there watching them. It was quite fun.
Yeah. Well, I think if they publicised it, if it was on the hour and on the entertainment sign it said Ancestors on the hour on Tower Street, I think they get more people there. But I suppose it's meant to be like a flash mob, isn't it? So
I think it's more than every 2 hours though, because they were hanging around and then they suddenly were like, "Oh, the music's coming on, got to go again." Surprising, because I thought there were less Ancestors this year. No, it just depending what time it is, it seems like more of them come out.
So I didn't know if they split off into two groups because I thought there was a group here that did it, and then they used to do it over at where.
Yeah, they don't do it. I don't think they do it by the Hex.
I don't think they do it there anymore, or the Curse.
Do they do it?
Or Hex as well.
Why did they do it by the Curse?
They did it by the Curse a good couple of years ago, and then, when it was Dual back in the day, and then there was a small group of them then, and then it ended up being where Hex was, where the benches are.
I love those benches.
And then now it's like they just do it here, I think.
There were more on Tower Street later on. The Viking did come out later on because I thought he wasn't back. It was a good show though. It was the same show as last. It's the same show as last year with one song added. But also, it's not just the same songs and same choreography here. This is actually the same show they do on the stage at 6 o'clock every evening, which is quite cool to see on the stage. But having seen this earlier in the day, I can say it's the same show. But they're all on the stage. When they do it on the stage, there's like about 20 of them, isn't there?
I think it's quite nice for kids though, like particularly if they're near the stage that they're getting like, I don't know, their tea or whatever when they're out and they just want to rest and
there we go, playing basketball.
Wind down for the day. So to see all those like flashing lights and them dancing on the stage, it's like get that last bit of energy out and then they can go back to the hotel and go to bed sort of thing. So I quite like that idea of them using the stage.
What did Darcy think of the Ancestors? What do you think of them in general? Like every year? Are you a fan of them?
Yeah.
Good answer that.
I was talking to you about this.
Did you get a bit shy around them, Darcy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'd say is they were interacting a bit too much with people. That normally they kind of do the thing and they just kind of disappear and walk off and they're quite spooky. But they were kind of talking to them, weren't they? Which I don't know, didn't feel the same.
It breaks the mystique when they're just act. It's almost like they're not acting; they're just being nice to like. Yeah. I'm not saying it should be nice to people, but this was my argument for scare zones as well. I think they break the mystique.
We used to have one that literally just stand there and glare at you, didn't they, and stuff like that.
And now they're playing basketball.
And now they're just showing things to encourage people.
There are quite a few similar characters as well. There's quite a few old posh women. Like before, it's like everyone's a different character, and now it's like
posh women.
The one thing I was talking to you about, and I asked the Joneses, I assume this is what they are, right? I assume it's a similar thing to the BBC show Ghosts, and they're all different eras of people that have died on the premises, and now they're all ghosts at Alton Towers. Is that what they are?
I'm assuming so, because that woman's got the flares on, so it's like 70s. We obviously got the Viking one.
There's like a civil.
And then
war.
what I was also going to ask was, there's one in the back, just in front of the A of Scarefest. She looks like she's from the 80s. So does that? She's like quite a recent Death Alton Towers.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
quite a thing, don't
My
we?
least favorite one wasn't there this year, which is good.
Oh, the Jester.
Yeah, I don't like the Jester. Freaks
See,
me
I
out.
don't think the Jester's too like. I've not got a fear of
Jester was
clowns.
cool.
But if I had a fear of clowns, because the Jester's in black and white or grey, it just doesn't seem. I don't know. I don't.
It's the mouth paint with clowns and stuff.
The mouth.
I didn't like the police one last year. That one proper freaked me
Yeah, the
out.
police one wasn't there.
But
Oh, was she there this year?
I knew.
Is that the police one on the right?
Yeah, that's the one on the right.
But it wasn't the same person. And the person
Yeah.
that played the police guy last year was the last guy that we went past in burial grounds because I recognised him.
Oh, because he was like distorted himself.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very flexible when they were in the movements.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the entertainment team, Gareth, and they assign them.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the one at the back that you said is from the 80s. I'm pretty sure she's done other shows.
But no, I think the ancestors are good. I think
keep
I
the
understand you've got to have the
ancestors.
freaky friends, which the fact they've not called it the Scary Seven makes me very scared that they're going to add another character next year and the year after. And it's going to be like, oh,
That's why I was thinking it's going to be like the Freaky 800 by the time it's like.
Yeah, I think
And
they've
there
got
is pin badges.
Yeah, I'm
Pin
not a
badges.
massive fan of the actual characters.
Hmm.
I prefer the ancestors and like the other shows that they do. I'm not a fan
also,
of the shows that the characters do.
they need to change the writing now because they've got a skeleton F, they've
Yeah.
got a Phil S. Where's the Patch and the Gretel and the Zombob and the Vampire? There's Canyon.
I've not got a photo of it, but I just remembered when I was editing my vlog. You know, I turned to you, Andy, and went, "Aren't there meant to be 7 pumpkins?"
Yeah.
When I was editing my vlog, I realised they didn't have the Nemesis one out. The one with the eyes sticking out.
I actually.
But they were meant to be
didn't
7.
have enough pumpkins, but didn't notice which one was missing.
Yeah, I didn't notice which one was missing.
I
I'm sure
noticed.
there's 7, but I couldn't think of it. And when I was editing, I was like, "That Nemesis one's gone with the eyes sticking out."
Yeah.
Unless they plan to put it up near Nemesis and the old Project Ocean. That means it's going to have water effects, by the way, that ride, because it's called Project Ocean. But no, I thought the screen was good. I'm trying to find the other photo because it will be relevant to what.
Another thing that I thought would be quite cool, do you know we were talking about the hearse earlier?
Yeah.
Was it'd be really cool if they did a jacket with like green flames on the sleeves, like the Wicker Man.
I'll be like the Wicker Man one.
I would happily buy that and say like stitch on the back.
And make it denim instead of, is it corduroy with that material?
Make
Yeah,
it
corduroy.
leather. Make it like a leather jacket with like the things.
Oh,
on.
that'd be way too expensive.
No,
And then
it
they'd
was-
put the Merlin premium on it.
And even if they did plastic ones, it'd still be expensive.
If we're talking about shows,
Do it like a denim one again, that'd be cool.
if we're talking about shows,
Then I can put patches on.
hang on, where's the photo? I'm looking for the photo now. I've gone too far, I think.
Whoa,
There we go. The fact they took away that,
crazy.
I don't know what you call it, that roofing that was there for Oktoberfest.
Oh, the 10.
Yeah.
And it just rained.
The
That's the
giant
afternoon.
gazebo.
It rained, it hailed. I'm pretty sure there was a tornado at one point.
So, when we were sitting down, Mike was like this with the umbrella protecting his back.
Oh, yeah. To put it in perspective, they have a few,
Umbrella.
Oh, yeah, we
call
had
them?
hail,
The,
didn't we?
what do you call them, the umbrellas? Well, they're
Rollers.
umbrellas.
Parasols.
Parasols, that's it. They had a few big parasols at the tables at the back. That's where we sat. But the rest of it, it was just drenched. And yeah, I think they've done that because I'm guessing they're too scared that they're not going to be able to get it down in time before fireworks. But I would have thought that wouldn't be a problem.
They got it down in like 4 days.
That,
Four.
but then how would it fare with really strong winds once the
Yeah.
weather gets worse as well?
Lightning and stuff as well.
It must be weighed down, though, surely.
Yes. I don't know. I've got a feeling they don't own that and they rent it each time, so it's probably too expensive to rent it.
Don't get it damaged. We got to give it back. What did you think of the other shows then? Like the Sin Bin, is it? I only remember that.
Last year, I thought Simbin was really like cheesy, but this year I thought they cheesed it down a little bit, and the songs they played and stuff I actually quite enjoyed. I thought they were quite. It's quite.
I don't know
this year.
I don't know if it worked better when it was cheesy because it was so funny to the point where it was almost
There's a fine line between being funny and really awkward there. it was teetering on the awkward level.
Yeah, last year there was the other one that was kind of middle ground show, vintage Halloween or something like that.
Yeah, they tried to go for like Lindy Bop dresses, didn't they? And then this time they've got like punk rock with the and like corsets as well that they were wearing.
I was hoping there'd be more like songs you could get up and dance, because in my head I thought if it's really good music we can kind of make it another Oktoberfest for Halloween theme, but the songs they played weren't really.
I am very thankful for the fact that out of all the entertainments that they did keep in the winner for like Eurovision. I think that's one thing I quite like.
I think it's quite
they've
awkward.
always got a song in Eurovision in there, or a song that's quite well known within like social media as well.
I think it's always awkward because the singer tries to talk to the
popular.
audience, and it's sort of like awkward because the audience never seem into. I think it's fair for me to say every time we've been, and last year as well, the Sin Bin show, the audience never really seem into it. I don't know if you guys would agree with that.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think in general, I think people are so cold and wet sitting there that they're not really enjoying the show as much.
I can do the best, like, imitation of the guy.
Oh, God.
Sinners!
Hang on, I'm going to make you bigger so you can. There you go.
Come on, then, do it again.
Sinners!
Oh my gosh, yes.
You sound a bit like the guy who does the voice for like the National Lottery and stuff like that.
The girl that sings in the Sin Bin show, she's the same one that sings in the hotel. She's awesome. She's a really good singer.
I can do it even better accent. Sinners!
That was the same accent, wasn't it?
No, it isn't. I said sinners, and I went sinners.
Okay.
I must admit, he's very technical, that singer, with his hands, and he's really good. But like last year, it was
There's less thrusting this year, I thought.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot more appropriate dancing this year, I thought. But the fact that his hands were always like that when he was like going through the notes and everything, it was brilliant. Very mysterious.
So what did you think about Amigos in the Afterlife, Jones?
It was way better than the Dungeons ever was. Even though I only did the Dungeons once, it was way better than the Dungeons.
You don't like the dungeons though, because you don't like scary things.
I like the dungeons. I just didn't like the witch room where she moved around in the dark because she was right in front of me when the light went back on. And I
is that why you didn't like the lights off in Hex?
But what about Barry? He moved around in the dark.
I loved Barry. I don't know why.
Barry's a wormy.
And you know the bit where there was like the skeleton? That was like really well done somehow. How did they get the guy that hidden? But
the skeleton was really good, yeah.
When you actually saw the guy, you know the guy
that led you through the tunnel.
The corridor, yeah.
Yeah. You know the guy that was like a protester person in the Nemesis.
Yeah.
Where he looks a bit like Harry Potter a bit, but like adult Harry Potter. He was the guy behind the skeleton outfit.
Is that all you do? Go through these mazes trying to spot staff from other?
Pretty much.
I couldn't tell. I'm assuming he was wearing a black costume, so because I couldn't really make out. He was obviously behind the skeleton, but I thought that was really well done. How he.
It wasn't a real skeleton.
It could have been.
But I didn't really like.
It wasn't alive. You could have had a real skeleton.
You know the room where they were like making the skeleton dance? I didn't really like that because you could see that the woman was going to press the button to start the music.
I could see that in a lot of stuff. There was one of the mazes I saw that in, but I don't think you can really hide that though.
They should definitely make a Barry plushie.
Yes. But make it like, like my cactus thing that was actually like a reindeer thing. They should do one like that where it like where it goes like.
One of those ones that wobbles on your dashboard. You put it on the dashboard, and I really liked. And this is going to ruin it for anyone who's not been in it. But as soon as Barry, it was a tequila worm, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Green worm.
Tequila worm.
It's called tequila worm. As soon as he went missing, I knew they were going to redo that effect from the dungeon with the seats move, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. It's a really cool idea to do that."
Did they make the thing in the seats bigger or something? Because it felt like whatever was going like underneath you, it felt bigger than it did in the dungeon.
I think it just depends where you're sitting.
I was sitting on the gap between two seats, so I got on each buttock.
I'm a squirmy wormy.
But yeah, I really liked. I thought they batched too many of us, which I guess can't be helped because the first scene. There's going to be spoilers already, guys. If no one's been on it, the first scene we were kind of still in the kind of like back streets of Mexico while everyone else was in this scene, and we kind of I could know what was going on, but I wasn't involved in it. And the second scene was better, but I felt like in every scene I was trying to preempt where we'd go next, so I could try and get near the door to not be at the back anymore.
Yeah, I think they had. It was
that wrestling scene. Oh, that wrestling scene was brilliant because Andy turned to me. There's a wrestling bit where they pick people out of the crowd to get in a ring with the wrestler, and there's a kid goes in, and he was like, "That kid looks like he's going to batter," and he did look like he was going to batter that guy. The kid was really up for it. Like, I'm really going to take this guy down.
Maximus.
He had the greatest name ever as well, didn't he?
Maximus.
Oh, the kid, yeah, the kid was called Maximus, yeah. And that woman got in at first, and I thought, I wonder what they're going to do here because this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. But they must have like something's going to happen, so they don't actually
I
wrestle.
can't help but like think that that's the horse from Tangled because that's the horse's name, the white horse.
Not Maximus.
Yeah.
It was at that point of the entire maze or whatever you call it, and I was like, "This is like a really weird dream." It was like really weird, but it was fun, but weird.
Was it just me? It made me feel like it was like really claustrophobic in some rooms, like the cooking room and stuff.
I think that's because they put too many of us in.
Yeah, I felt like the batching could have been better. Like smaller groups would have been
because
better.
the queue wasn't that big to not warrant smaller groups. I thought, but yeah, the kicking room was fun, and then you went down that corridor, and you kind of see where the boat was going to be. If you've been on Dungeons, there was a dancing room where you had to dance. They made this skeleton dance. As Darcy said, you can see him press the buttons. Then we went to the wrestling one. Was there a room after the wrestling, or was it just
Harry the Squirmy Wormy?
Oh yeah, the worm. How could I forget? Went down a corridor. Did we get the mask before or after the worm?
After the worm, as we were leaving.
I think I was a bit annoyed because obviously they were giving out masks, but they were only for the kids. And it's like, well, we've paid for coming in here. Why can't we have masks?
That's what I felt.
She was like, no, it's only for the little ones when we asked for one. It's like,
but she kept in character when she said, "Oh, sorry, it's for the little ones." And I went, "I've paid to be in here."
I've seen adults taking pictures with the masks on and thought, "Oh, they must have got the masks."
Yeah, exactly. Unless they ran out, maybe. But I just.
And then, the worm scene happens in the old Doctor Room from the Dungeons, and we said it in our vlog, but I thought it was funny. I was a bit taken aback when the guy went, "And if your parents don't sing, kids, that means they don't love you." Did you have to say that?
I thought that was quite dark. I thought that was quite dark, to be fair.
I think that's something that particular guy at that moment in time said, rather than it was on the script.
Also, that girl that was like in the puppets that had the puppets on her hands.
Yeah, 2 puppets, yeah.
She was out of Firchester, but I noticed she was doing the Elmo voice. Does that just mean she was doing the Elmo voice?
Do you know them by name when you say it's the actor from there and you recognise them?
You know most of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite actor at Towers?
Abby.
Which one's Abby? Which
one plays Mary by the Curse, and she's been my nemesis a few times as well.
The one that played on the first day, like the newswoman.
Yeah, on the advert, the one that was. Yeah, it's fairly short.
The one who plays Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah. Oh, she is good. She is. I like her as well.
And then after the
her and the other one.
After the worm room, you kind of just have a load of there were actually some decent, like, if you're a kid, those women in the windows, just quite a little decent jump scare, I thought.
Oh, the bit at the end.
Women in the windows?
The ghosts. You walk down a corridor and there was like windows and there was ghosts walking past.
I didn't even notice
no, the gargoyle thing at the end. Though I didn't really think the gargoyle fitted in, but it was a good touch.
It's from the dungeon. They had that there with the dungeons.
Did they?
Yeah, and it got you wet, but it was going off way more often this time.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
I missed it, but Mummy got squirted.
But I like the black light. I like the glow in the dark. I thought it was really good. I preferred that to like Trick or Treat Street was good. I don't know which one I prefer.
Town. It's not street. It's town.
The smell pods were amazing as well. It smelled amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of
Which
the one
one?
in Chessington.
Amigos or
Amigos.
I
Did you
love
get
that.
any Amigos merch?
Yeah,
Nice one,
the
shirt.
t-shirt.
Also
Is that printed on or is that
Yeah.
It's printed, isn't
Printed.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to last about one wash. And
as official merch?
I don't know, because we've had other ones in the past that have been printed from Alton Towers, and they've
This
have
is like my
lasted.
Scarefest one. You know, the one that I got like 3 years ago, and it's still in my wardrobe fine.
It's a bit faded, but yeah. But then, like your Nemesis one, you Seek the Truth on that soul start peeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
For like one wash.
But
I like-
obviously that's not.
I'd like to see that stay. I don't know if it will, but I'd like to see that Amigos in the Afterlife stay. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Because Andy said he'd heard it was quite bad in there, but it was actually pretty decent.
Like I said, I think if they change the size of the rooms, that would be nice, and or either that or just less of a big group.
Mm.
I think 10 would be perfect, especially like in that cooking room where you were looking for the ingredients. You weren't really looking
couldn't
around for
even
the
walk, could
ingredients
you?
because all you could see was people. So
People, yeah.
I
I
think
think a chance if the ingredient was literally there next to you, you could get it, but you couldn't see around the room to see the ingredients.
Yeah.
I thought we couldn't even. Some of us couldn't even turn around because we got backpacks on. So
I
I think
think
consider things like that.
there was two things that I thought was kind of like weird. That you know, like the bin bit at the start where you had to put your hands in a bin. It just felt like you were actually rooting through rubbish.
That's what it's meant to be, though. It's meant to be like.
Yeah, but it felt like gross, and it had smell pods in there as well, of like gross things.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, we couldn't even get to the bins because we were at the back.
we were still in
And
the
we were
alleyway.
like, we don't know what's going off. So as soon as
Alleyways of
everyone left, we were
Mexico.
like, oh, we can see all these UV lights on these bins.
Yeah, I
all
liked all
these
the outside
patterns.
and the flowers and
Patterns.
obviously the bunting goes without saying.
Mm.
And also these ponchos that look like Mexican
I love
ponchos.
them ponchos. I want one.
Well, it's probably quite cheap to make if I know what Merlin are like.
I know how to make it. It's easy.
You know how to make it.
I can make it myself.
Actually, do you want to talk
Oh,
about
gosh.
Halloween Town?
Halloween Town is basically, I would say, sponsored by Haribo or run by Haribo. I quite enjoy it. There is a few jump scares for me, even though it's a kids thing.
We knew they were
Still
coming
makes-
this year, though.
But we knew they were coming a little bit. But obviously, it's just like, oh my gosh, and they still get me every time. Every time.
That was funny.
Um,
You know where they had like the water pistol, and then we all knew what would happen, so we all just stepped back.
It's just like, where is everyone?
It's the drop down door that always gets me.
Yeah.
That's where it drops
Oh,
down,
yeah.
and it gets you. And
What I say about Trick or Treat Town is it's probably the better themed one of the two attractions.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you've been through it a few times, so you're kind of oblivious to it. But when you look at the theme and as you're walking around, it is really well themed.
and I mean, I'm not being funny, but I absolutely love Haribo, so absolutely brilliant choice.
We still got some of that.
Yeah,
And this
I
was-
know.
Packets each.
Yeah.
This year we got way more sweets than last year. We got 14 each, 14 packs.
What did we get last year?
About 10.
About
Yeah,
10.
it wasn't many at
So-
all last year.
And when we got home, we put all the remaining ones that we had in like a school thing. And
I
the
think you
school,
took the school.
Can't move.
How many have you got left?
0.
She's eating all the sweets.
Really?
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
we,
impressive.
we may have helped her a little bit, maybe. But
I think I've had about 5 packets since we've
I
finished.
think we were going by Sunday night.
Wow.
Really like the 10 classics.
We've still got probably more than 10, I would say.
I don't know. I will check because I know you've had a couple of packets as well. So we've
Well,
kind
they're
of
the
merged
right
ours
size,
together,
that they're just
though.
like a mouthful, aren't they?
Mm.
So you just have the whole packet in one.
I don't know. I just kind of savor a little bit, just have 1 or 2 in my mouth and be like for a little bit.
Did
You know,
you
the
want?
theming is really good in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do really like it. The only thing that really bugs me is they've got some really nice set pieces I'd love to have my photo taken with. And you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
put them in there. But I can see why they're doing it, because if everyone was standing around taking photos, it would take forever to get everyone through.
Yeah.
Perhaps a few more set pieces on the outside that you can have your picture taken with would be good.
They need
Yeah.
like just as you go in, they need a bit of a street setup, don't they? With like kind of photo opportunity.
I think the batching as well was like perfect
Because it was
because
just us.
well, it was just us, but it was like you make the memories with those people that obviously you were with. When if it was like, was it last year or year before we went, where it was like a group,
A
and
queue.
then we had like 3 or 4 different families with us, and it was a bit everyone's on top of each other, and it was a bit chaotic. But this time, because it was just us that went in our group, it seemed more sentimental. It seemed more, I don't know, family orientated, of course, as it should be, where it just focused on your family. So
You know that video that it plays when you're in the queue line? It only plays that once when we were in there, and we were in there for at least 5 minutes. It normally plays every minute. Which I found weird.
Well, one thing I'd say is there seems to be more actors in there. Well, not there wasn't or was, I don't know, but there just seems to be more staff in there than there was last year.
Yeah, I think because they didn't. I think when we went, they didn't have the police officer at the beginning, and
Yeah, they did.
did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember the police officer at the beginning. At
Yeah,
all.
they did. But it wasn't that actor.
No, yeah.
One thing I would say is the mayor's normally a bit bigger as well, but the guy that was playing the mayor wasn't big enough to
He
play the
was
mayor.
so
Was it?
skinny.
His clothes were hanging off.
I saw the mayor in Compound. The real mayor.
Was he?
Yes.
No
he was,
way.
He was in that room. Because I don't think we're going to talk about... We'll talk about mazes on another week.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Jones didn't get to do them. But in Compound, which is nowhere near as scary as they make out, by the way. But it's fun.
Just talking about Compound, Towers released a video tonight where they've got some celebrities going around Compound, so you can see what it's like. So we were actually watching it just for your video. So we've got an idea of what it was like now. It does look quite cool.
Because there's a room you go in, and then there's a load of people in there going, go back to the room you were in, but they're not actually they're checking these other doors. And that was the guy who was the mayor, who's also one of the 2 presenters that do Oktoberfest. And it's in our vlog, but basically then this actor took me out the room, and another actor didn't know I had an actor with me and tried to pull me back in, so it was a bit of tug of war. And then this woman was like, you got to go in the tunnel. And I was like, are you serious? And I went in the tunnel, it's like my backpack didn't fit, so I had to take my backpack off and put it in front of me, and the actor was behind me trying to get to the rush. I was like, I've got a backpack here, mate. I was just like, leave it out. You just made me go through here. I have to turn my bag off.
Also,
I remember the first thing I said to Ben and David when we came out was, because you all got out before me. When I came out, I saw you. I went, well, that was tame, wasn't it? And that was the first thing I said when I walked out.
Well, we've obviously got our reviews and our ratings on the vlog that we did.
It was fun. It just wasn't scary.
But maybe we could have like other people that have been through them on another episode. That would be quite interesting to see if they've had a different sort of experience.
I would also argue if
I'd
they
welcome
were
that,
that
guys.
scary, would people be buying those passes to go on many times as they want? Because surely if they were that scary, you wouldn't go on it again. So that was it was fun though. It was fun, but it wasn't. I don't think any of the mazes were scary. It was fun.
They're all fun, yeah. But then it's making it family friendly, making memories.
David's here. Hello, David.
I think that's the kind of approach they're trying to go for.
Not long till Dave's cruise now, I think, if he's not already been on it.
It is.
He might have already been on it 'cause it's been a couple of weeks since we've been there. But did you want to explain for the people at home,
Oh, me or
you,
okay.
what this photo is referring to? Do you want me to say it? Or do you...
I'll let you explain. 'Cause I know
There was a lot more mud on the floor than there is there. They've swept it up. But basically, I did a story in the morning joking about how it was a trip hazard. And then later on, the Joneses went to the lawns while we did some of the mazes. And Andy messaged me and went, I think Bianca's seen the story you tagged her in. And I was like, what do you mean? He went, there's a fence. So I thought, oh, okay, let's go look. And I thought there'd be less fence than that. They'd wiped the mud away and put loads of fences out. At that point, I felt compelled to film a bit for the story saying, Alton Towers listened and did, because it was just like, oh, I've done this and tagged Bianca and I've just put all this which is good.
Monday. There's no more bank holidays, is there, until New Year? Isn't there?
Bank holiday Monday. It depends what country he's in, I guess.
I don't know.
Oh, we'll be alright on fireworks because I've got a plan, but I can't tell you what it is, Gareth. But yeah, Alton Towers sort stuff out, which I thought was important because I did criticise them when they do stuff bad, but they sorted it out.
I think that's the thing. We appreciate the fact that they dealt with it very quickly. But from what we heard from the people at the bar opposite from it,
I don't want to put them in it.
Yeah.
There's only a certain amount of people that work at the bar, so
There
they're going to
may
get
have been
found
one or
out if you
two.
start saying what they've said.
No, I'm just saying there may have been 1 or 2 that fell over. That's what they said. I think it was like 2 or 3 people this year. So.
And also the
Yeah.
Scarefest petrifying purple.
It wasn't purple.
It was brown.
All the freestyle drinks are just different shades of brown.
It's like plasticine. You know when you get all the shades of plasticine and you mush it all together and it goes brown? That is freestyle.
But I think Darcy said it that it was grape Fanta, and I think it probably was. I think all the special flavors they do seasonal on these machines are just other flavors put under another button. It's like, oh, that's purple, the grape Fanta. Let's have it as a Scarefest flavor as well.
I think I just did cola like I do, cola with cordial.
It was like grape Fanta, I think.
Mm.
But it wasn't available on the first machine we went to, opposite Rita. It said the button was there, and it obviously run out, which I thought was odd.
Mm.
But what did you think of the flavour of the petrifying purple, Joneses?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
That was my favourite one.
it was
I thought it
horrible.
was okay, that one.
It was horrible.
Was it better than Nemesis? What was it, Forbidden Fizz?
Which is the one we got on Tower Street? What flavour did we get there?
Mezzomix.
As we were leaving.
Mezzomix.
It wasn't Mezzomix.
I love Mezzomix.
You can make that at home.
That was my favourite one. I can't remember which one it was though.
What is Mezzomix?
It's essentially orange squash, but you dilute it with cola instead of water. That's what Mezzomix is. Obviously, if you pick it to add a flavour to it in the freestyle machine, it's obviously Mezzomix and cherry or whatever. But
I get it to do cherry.
the standard Mezzomix is orange and cola. It's a big thing in Germany. They sell it in Germany in bottles. But yeah, you can make that at home if you really want. Just get orange squash. I've just broken the system now. I've just told you how to make the recipe. They go on about Coca-Cola recipe being secret, but don't they put the ingredients on the bottle? Or is it made in a certain way that they're not telling you about?
They make it sound like it's chemical
warfare. But I never got to try the Oktoberfest one. I'd love to know, because I assume that again was probably a flavour that already exists on the machine, put under a button that says Oktoberfest. So I'd love to know what that was.
It's one way to bring your cups back again and reuse.
Oktoberfest was peach.
Yeah, it's like peach and lemonade or something.
Peach
I
Fanta.
not like that. Peach is just a no-go for me for drinks.
No, I don't like peach.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say anyone else like peach because no, it's like drinking perfume.
I wish they kind of did normal flavors in the Coke thing, so like a cream soda or a root beer, but with Coke, like kind of standard.
They do those.
Not just fruity flavors.
I really wish they did a root beer because that would be amazing.
I don't think they did it right though. I think it'd be like when Aldi sold root beer.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I was a bit good they didn't have a specialist cup for Scarefest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
If I have a Freaky Friends one, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
They probably will do now, just not on the first weekend. Yeah, they probably
Oh,
will.
you did go to Oktoberfest, Dave. Oh, I'm glad you did. What did you think to it?
Probably thought it was very fun. I thought it was fun. It's probably the best event they do, to be fair.
Mm.
I mean, as much as I like stuff like Scarefest and I like fireworks, I think Oktoberfest is just pretty cool.
It's just the highlight of our year because then we know it's like, spooky, not spooky season,
Spooky
but like
season.
scare season's around the corner, and then obviously you get the ball rolling towards Christmas, fireworks and Christmas. And
Well, Christmas starts on the second weekend
it's
of November,
exciting
doesn't
time
it?
of year for us. We love it.
I don't know if we do run Alton Towers like this year. It wasn't great last year, was it?
No, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, he's not doing fireworks. And it was okay. He didn't have enough beer. Is there anything we talked about other than the mazes? We didn't do many night.
No.
We didn't do any. Did we do any night rides?
We didn't.
No, we didn't.
The
We were going to do the curse as we were leaving, weren't we? But it closed though.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
No,
Thinking of it.
but we'll probably talk about the scare mazes over the next couple of weeks when we with some other people. But
I would say it'd be nice to hear views from other people as well doing that. That'd be really good.
Well, one thing I did notice there was less people wearing fancy dresses. Yeah, the cat just bit me, by the way. That's why.
Oh, okay. I wonder what you're doing.
that's because they apparently put a video out. But then I was surprised by how many people were still wearing full face makeup.
Yeah, that's right, because they obviously hadn't enforced it, unless they put that on once they got to the
Where was it that we saw the Joker dude and it freaked me out?
There was when you
Amigos, by outside Burger Kitchen. There,
there was
full face makeup.
there was
Yeah,
a, there was a guy walking around dressed as a Joker, and he was with Harley Quinn, and they were really good. They spent a lot of time doing the makeup. It was
Because we saw
I think they were lined up with us in Compound later on as well.
no, that was Beetlejuice.
No, there was that, and there was a guy dressed up as Beetlejuice as well. There was a couple, and then Beetlejuice that was with them. So,
But yeah, it was Scarefest. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about the other side. I say scarier side of Scarefest. It's not scary really, but I think it was a pretty good day. I'm trying to wonder if I've missed anything out, but I don't think I have, apart from the mazes, obviously. But what did you think about it? What did Andy think?
The only thing I was going to say was that they'd recycled Oktoberfest in terms of what they did on the lawns, which was a bit disappointing. It was the same thing, just with relabeled food trucks.
Also,
Oh, you mean the food stuff? Yeah. Well, they did have the stir fry, didn't they?
Yes.
We had that.
Yeah, it's just
part of my blog.
where they had the fire pits and stuff as well. It would have been nice if they moved them around a bit and made them look a bit different. But it was exactly the same, wasn't it?
one thing to point out: they need to make their floor flatter.
Or you need to lift your feet up when you walk.
I was.
Yeah.
I've still got my knee is actually still swollen.
Wow.
You sure that's not just the shape of your knee? Because your knee's round anyway.
No, it's like all brown and it's swollen.
Jazz got quite a big bruise on it, to be fair.
Oh wow. I do feel like they need like someone to go around with like grit or something on top, maybe. Or
I don't think they have the budget for that.
I don't think they're allowed to, are they? Do you know what I mean?
No, it's designed for winter use. It's designed to protect the grass in the winter, isn't it? But hopefully being less slippery.
Yeah. Like, it didn't help that where the joining pieces were, a lot of them were missing. So it was all
Yeah.
So they're just like,
Maybe they should put like a sign saying possible uneven and slippery surfaces. Just be careful.
which put bully fences everywhere. What did you think of the merch?
I thought the merch was quite nice.
There was some stuff that I saw around that should have. I'd see things and go, why didn't they put that on a pin badge? And then
They still have the last of the Alton Towers Dungeons pin badges in there as well. So anyone that's a nice collector, just letting you know.
sell them on eBay
Oh.
for more than the going rate.
What they didn't have was the plushies, this style, for
Yeah.
Bob or Vampire, which is a bit disappointing.
I don't think. Are they going to make them this year?
Manufacturing process
I thought they had them in a basket actually.
No, they didn't. I didn't see. No, they didn't have Zombob or Vampire though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did have a search through the basket in case they had, but
Also, one fault about these teddies, well, there's actually two. So first of all, they need a Skelvin's thing on.
Well, no, because it's a hood, so you can pull it off and on.
Yeah. And second of all the other ones can sit down except from this one. Like, it isn't possible. Like, look.
What if you put it against the wall?
If I put it against the wall, it still stands up.
No, because you put the legs underneath it.
you're bitter about that, aren't you? That's
Yeah.
I noticed they had a Scarefest resin for the Smiler pumpkin on the pedestal, like the one outside. Did they do the same for the other pumpkins?
no, we didn't.
No, it's just one.
Just one.
That
Yeah.
seems like you'd want to do the set, so people would buy the set.
Mm.
Or they could just do a resin that's got a small and all seven on a bit of. Yeah.
I think Laura mentioned to Bianca about that, didn't you?
Yeah, she said something like good things come to those who wait, or something like that. It takes time.
Yeah, Universal.
I think maybe next year we might have a full set. Hopefully. But yeah, I wasn't going to buy just one. I wanted the full set.
It reminds me of when they sold the gnomes. I don't know if you remember. They did a Smiler one and an Air one, and then they didn't sell any more. They must not have sold very well.
Love them. I wanted to go get an Air one the next time I went, and they weren't there.
And then obviously it's become a staple in our blogs now, but they've got a reduced section, ironically, after you've paid for your stuff, which seems
We
odd.
just so happen to go past it and see the reduced stuff.
But we did it twice on Oktoberfest, and someone had bought the Smiler carriage that was in there. So, but it's always worth a look, I guess. And they got the like drugs cabinet at the back as well. We can buy paracetamol. But yeah, I don't know. Have we mentioned everything? What was your favourite thing, Joneses, from Scarefest?
Did you guys tell us?
Probably just like they had the new they had that outfits for the new characters, which I thought was good. And I like that show as well.
Which one?
The one where the Phil's house party. This guy's the guy that I'm moaning about his party.
My favourite bit of it, new bit, shall we say, was the Amigos by far.
Yeah.
And I thought the Sin Bin was my favourite show this year. Yeah.
Oh, really? Better than Ancestors?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the Sin Bin one.
I really didn't get the Sin Bin because the ice dancers were dancing for the fire as well as the
But
fire
the
dancers.
special effects they had this year behind the dancers were awesome compared to previous years. They had like the window with all the flames and they had like snow.
They didn't actually let the pyro off, though, did they? Because it was raining.
Yeah,
They did like pyros in front of the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the Sin Bin was quite upgraded this year.
What did Laura
One
like?
thing I do miss is years gone by when they used to have the stage over by Hex. They used to do the fancy dress party thing where the kids could go and get a pop badge for going in fancy dress. They'd give out prizes and stuff. But they also used to do the character meet and greet, so you used to get your photo taken with Patch, didn't you?
Yeah, but the fancy dress thing was a swizz because we went one year and Darcy had spent ages getting dressed up in fancy dress. And then there was this like older guy, probably like 30 odd, in one of those inflatable dinosaur suits. And they instantly made him win and he got the winning prize. I
Which
thought
one was that? Is that one who was there in Granddad?
I don't know. But yeah, the guy dressed as a dinosaur one, which I thought was a bit off when there's all little kids running around. But obviously put the effort in. But anyway.
I'm surprised they let adults go into that.
Yeah, anybody could go in it, as long as you had fancy dress on.
What was your favourite?
I must admit, I do miss that stage as well, like just the meet and greets. My favourite would be, I don't know actually. I think mine would be the flash mob. I really like the flash mob.
Oh, and you didn't get to see it.
I didn't get to see it as much, but it's always one of those highlights that I do actually like. And you feel like I just miss the fact that, remember years ago we used to get like one scare actor that come up and they'd be like, ah, run towards you, and then they'll like grab your hand and get you to dance with them as well. And I do miss that, but they don't do it anymore, which is a shame. But I don't know if that's because of COVID and stuff, but
COVID's in the past
that's
now.
the only downside I've got. I'm sorry, I'm moaning again, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
But I do like the flash mob.
I think my favourite bit was Amigos in the Afterlife.
So I forgot that Hex opened as well again, so Hex was my favourite bit.
I think Hex was alright. It felt more like a chore, like we need to do it because see how it's changed, but I don't know, it just felt like a chore.
I'm glad it's back, but it's not like earth-shatteringly good, is it?
No, but equally, I didn't want it to change too much because I liked it just the way it was.
Yeah. It's one of those lines that I did actually miss not being there, so I'm glad it's back.
I feel like Alton Towers isn't Alton Towers without Hex and Sky Rides. For some reason, it didn't feel like Alton Towers.
It's not going to be Alton Towers for a while then.
Until then opened.
The Sky Ride can go in room 101 for me. Don't like it.
I like Sky Ride. I love
We
the
should,
stops in it.
we should do another Room 101 episode on like theme parks or something and
Cats.
in general.
What? How cute is this pumpkin?
Is that real or is that a plastic one?
Real. And he's posing near it now.
But you can't see. Oh, wait, I suppose you can see.
You put it on the cat's head. Oh no, I can see the cat's head now. I couldn't see where the cat was before.
Oh,
Oh, he's done it. Yeah, we've just got an update from Sybil from earlier on. Sybil says it's third ride in Iberia and this is make or break for #1 spot.
Ooh.
But is that because it's new to him? I don't know. We'll find out when we see him next. But
yeah.
did you want to mention any photo challenges and stuff? I've not put any links in the description yet. It will go in after this has gone live. But
Yeah,
Do you wanna
thank
talk
you
about
to our
photo?
lucky guests, coasting with the Joneses, of course.
Do you want to talk about your photo challenge?
On your Scarefest vlog, do you have the one? It's because you're ruffling.
I'll put that down.
They don't do it. So if you can hear our piggies, I apologise. Now they're going crazy.
Now.
You can hear it.
So in terms of obviously, thank you to our guests. Have you got it on your vlogs, the Scarefest, with some of the shows as well? That's what I was going to ask. With like all the freaky friends.
Yeah, we've got a few clips. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because obviously we haven't actually seen it, but obviously go check out your
I've
vlogs
seen
and
it.
everything.
And
Obviously, I meant as in like in
You
general.
haven't seen it.
stay tuned for me and Holly's POV of burial ground.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good.
Number 2.
Did you get a jump scare from when there was the 2 bits where they split up and I saw you two go that way? So I ran round past Ben the other direction and jump scared Holly after the actor had jumped out and she was a bit nonplussed. I just jumped out from behind the actor.
No,
No.
I like.
Yeah, Darcy doesn't remember it because she was hiding behind Holly the entire time.
No, I was at the front filming for the second half. Just after you went in that dark room, I was filming the whole way. I was first place.
That's not a very long section, that last bit.
That was quite good though, you two actually doing that. So I think that'd be quite a good watch.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a good watch, yeah.
I somehow got tangled in the way you walk through like the wicker sculpture. I somehow got tangled in the things hanging down, but I couldn't get out.
I got smacked in the face with one of the plastic swords.
Oh, they're going mental.
I'm just gonna go get one.
One of them went like that across my neck, and I felt like, scared me. How cute is that pic?
It's all right. Yeah, I've got guinea pigs. They're cuter than cats.
Yeah, but I spent years doing that.
What do you mean you spent years doing that?
You try getting a cat to sit in one place surrounded by pumpkins.
Oh, we tried to do that with guinea pigs.
They're all my attempts, and I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, it's a decent attempt, yeah. Is there anything else you want to mention about your channel before we wrap it up?
No, we've got a massive backlog, so at some point there'll be a load of vlogs on there.
Yeah, so we've probably got enough videos to edit to take us through to the start of the next season. We literally got like probably 20 videos.
We still got videos from 2 months ago that was editing.
That's a good problem to have, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Something to do during the close season.
What are we doing? We got.
They're all running away.
Dr. Fright's on Saturday, which might actually be. It sounds a bit like if anyone's seen the film, the houses October built. It's about trying to find the scariest scare maze. It's a horror film. It's a bit like that because we keep going to places and going, this isn't actually scary. It's fun, but it's not scary. I think Dr. Fright's might do it.
I have not looked on social media. I have not looked on anything about Dr. Fright's. Because I want to be scared.
And it's in Northampton, which is going to be mental. So and then the week after, I'm not going to say where. It'll be nice
to see the differences.
The week after, hopefully we're going to Scarefest again, but hopefully we're going to go to another scare attraction that I'm sure no one has filmed on the internet, and we've been told we can film in there. So I can't say what it is because.
Oh, even I don't know yet.
So do you want to wrap it up?
So obviously this month's photography challenge is orange. So if you want to tag me on Instagram, it's Stacey_L2E, and then I will put it in my stories. It's a mini shout out for you guys as well. Obviously buy the book, as Mike was trying to put on earlier.
The link won't be in the description yet, but it will be on catch up.
I am still going through that puzzle book. So
the answer's in the back.
Yeah, I know. So whatever you do, I hope you have a lovely spooky season, and thank you again to our guests for coming on as well.
Thank you.
And go check out their stuff and follow them. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, but I am done. And Mike really wants this tiramisu, but I don't think he's going to like it. So we'll see you.
The review.
Because for now, bye.